Ok, eso está down. Good. Right. You feel it. Okay, let's do it.
Well, the Mark of Cain, we started in 1985, about 10 years ago. We went through a number of drummers, even including a drum machine. We settled with a real human drummer in 1990 called Aaron Hewson, who's been with us for the last 5 years. We've been around for that length of time on a number of different record labels, from Phantom Records in '88 to Dominator in '89, who we've stayed with. We've just recently left Dominator. We've just signed with Ra Records, who are going to put out the next album. I think it's because we like our music. We like the music we play. It's never been a fad. It's never been something like, gee, where can we meet the most girls, or what attracts the most people? We play the music that we like, and I guess we get a hell of a lot out of just playing in the practice room as well, you know. The only thing being in Adelaide does is I think you don't play to fads. You play what you want to play, and that's the only thing. But being removed from Sydney and Melbourne is a real disadvantage. I don't think there's any advantage from being an Adelaide band at all. I think it sets you back. I think that's why it's taken us 10 years to even reach this level. It's unique if you get the look in. Like, generally, you know, you're just considered a South Australian band or an Adelaide band, and you're not seen as being counted for very much. That's been what we had to put up with for like 5 or 6 years. Or people say, oh, gee, you're from Adelaide. Oh, can't believe it. I wondered if the Gulf War really affected my music. I don't think it has, really. I don't know. I never found it that it suddenly came out. I never felt like it was a really full-on environment. Even the sight of soldiers carrying weapons everywhere, it was something, I guess, you just desensitise very quickly. It's like, oh, look, they're carrying an M16 or a Galil. And then after a while you just ignore it. I think, if anything, the thing that affected me from being overseas was just the isolation that I felt of not being around people who I could relate to, and that's probably more so influenced than war, for instance. And most people don't get it. They say, oh, that's a good hobby. No, you've got a good hobby. So I think you've got to understand it's a completely different sort of world. Engineering is a very straight sort of logical world, and music is a very lateral sort of process, and the two don't really mix. I tell anybody at my work, I don't want them to come and see me play. I mean, it's not their world. They're in a very different world. Let's go for a ride. Sweet memories will fade when you're torn apart inside. Welcome home, hero. Battlesick loner. With your head in your hands, there'll be no one to stand. The world's gone the wrong way. I don't wanna be saved. Don't wanna be afraid. Seeing what you see
stone in your dreams, going home alone, always the same song. Well, it's gone the wrong way. I don't wanna be saved. I don't wanna be saved. I don't wanna be saved. Battlesick boner. Everything will burn. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Well, it's gone the wrong way. I don't wanna be saved. I don't wanna be afraid. I don't wanna be saved. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. You're in hell. You're in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. 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 Hell.
I think our biggest problem with our releases has been money. We've bankrolled all of our releases, and yeah, you get what you pay for. I don't know, it's just something we have to put up with. You know, yeah, we've had people come up and say, "Yeah, you guys listen to your Helmet records too much." What can you do? What can you say? You know, that's our albums speak for themselves. They were out in 89, 88, 89, way before that sort of music was around. So if you want to check it chronologically, you know, we were there first. I think Godflesh is just one of the best bands I've ever listened to. Shellac, Big Black, the Jesus Lizard, bands like that. I think they're the main sort of bands we might listen to, or listen to arrangements, stuff like that. It's the music industry. It's the most unprofessional industry that you could ever come across, and we deal with it every day, and it frustrates and pisses us off. But you know, it's there, and you have to deal with it. You just walk into all these situations with your eyes wide open. That's all. I met him a long time ago, like in '88 or something, and I remember I talked to him about our band, but I don't know whether it was a subconscious sort of thing that I put in his brain or whatever. But we ended up supporting them in '92, and he liked the Mark of Cain a lot, and he mentioned that he went after the tour, he got home and he had a lot of CDs, and he often gets a lot of CDs given to him by bands, and he thought, oh, I remember the Mark of Cain, I'll put on their CD and see what I think. And apparently he liked it a lot, and he tried to contact us the very night he listened to it, and after that chased us to sign up to his label, and has maintained an interest to this day, and he's going to be coming out to produce the album. It's good to have someone like him who's very passionate about his music, who's passionate about our music. It makes us feel a whole lot better about the whole thing, you know.
So you think you're gonna live your life alone, in darkness and seclusion? Yeah, I know. You've been out there and tried to mix with the animals, and it just left you full of humiliated confusion. But the feeling of loneliness never leaves you. It haunts you everywhere you go. And then you meet me, and your whole world changes. Because everything I say is everything you've ever wanted to hear. So you drop your defenses, and you drop all your fears. And you're so busy feeling good that you never question why things are going so well. You wanna know why? 'Cause I'm a liar! Yeah, I'm a liar! I'll tear your mind out! I'll burn your soul! I'll turn you into me! I'll turn you into me! 'Cause I'm a liar! A liar! A liar! A liar! I'll hide behind a smile and understanding eyes. And I'll tell you things that you already know, so you can say, I really identify with you so much. I'll come to you like an affliction, but I'll leave you like an addiction. You'll never forget me. You wanna know why? 'Cause I'm a liar. Yeah, I'm a liar. I'll rip your mind out. I'll burn your soul. I'll turn you into me. I'll turn you into me. 'Cause I'm a liar, a liar. Liar, 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 liar. I don't know why I feel the need to lie and cause you so much pain. Maybe it's something inside. Maybe it's something I can't explain. 'Cause all I do is mess you up and lie to you. I'm a liar. Oh, I'm a liar. But if you give me just one more chance, I swear I will never lie to you again. Because now I see the destructive power of a lie. They're stronger than truth. I can't believe I ever hurt you. I swear I will never lie to you again. Please, just give me one more chance. I will never lie to you again. No, I swear. I will never tell a lie. I will never tell a lie. No, no. Sucker, sucker, oh, sucker. I am a liar. Yeah, I am a liar. Yeah, I like it. I feel good. Oh, I am a liar. Yeah. I lie. I lie. I lie. Oh, I lie. I'll lie again and again. I'll lie again and again, and I'll keep lying. I promise.
I don't think rock and roll is a legitimate basis for anything these days, really, that's, I don't know, serious. I mean, we're serious about what we do, but I sometimes think that we're too serious about what the emotionality that we try to impart. I mean, it's supposed to be an experience. The Mark of Cain is only for a few people who might understand what we're doing. Yeah, rock and roll's drying up, I reckon.